Everything you're about to hear is just my assessment. It's my opinion, and not to be taken as fact.
Here is a thorough and sharply condemning assessment of the May 20th, 2025 episode of the Mega Maniacs podcast titled Deceive, Control, Manipulate: The True Cost of Dominion Camp Meeting, hosted by Robin Torgrimson. This episode is a blistering exposé on the corrupt underbelly of Dominion Camp Meeting, DCM, an event orchestrated by World Harvest Church and its leadership, particularly Rod Parsley and family. Robin's work here is not just a podcast. It is a blistering act of whistleblowing, grounded in personal experience and corroborated by multiple first-hand accounts. No euphemisms, no soft language. This is the cold, hard truth. First, the episode's tone and purpose. Bold, unflinching, and necessary. Robin opens with clarity and resolve. This is not a gossip session, not a sensationalized gripe. It's a raw, painfully honest accounting of spiritual abuse, labor exploitation, and systemic manipulation executed under the sanctimonious guise of revival. She does not hedge her words. She does not sugarcoat. Instead, she uses her voice as a sword, slicing clean through the polished facade of World Harvest Church and Dominion Camp Meeting. Her alternate definition for DCM, deceive, control, manipulate, isn't a catchphrase. It's a thesis statement. And over the course of this gut-wrenching episode, she proves it with example after example. Second, Robin's credibility, first-hand experience, backed by multiple witnesses. Robin isn't a distant critic. She was there. She lived it. She worked within the system in 2019 and 2022, with the COVID years falling in between. Her position in human resources gave her a front-row seat to the dysfunction and abuse baked into every layer of DCM's operations. This isn't hearsay. It's first-hand testimony, reinforced by detailed, disturbing accounts from multiple unnamed insiders. These witnesses, courageous, broken, and still recovering, report experiences that are alarmingly consistent. Extreme work hours, verbal abuse, aesthetic policing, manipulative control of religious conviction, and weaponized honorariums used to pamper celebrity guests while rank-and-file staff are denied food, rest, and dignity. Third, Dominion Camp Meeting, a machine of exploitation. Dominion Camp Meeting is portrayed as a well-oiled PR and revenue-generating machine, not a spiritual gathering. Robin meticulously outlines how staff, volunteers, and work-study students were worked to exhaustion, often 18 to 20-hour shifts, for weeks leading up to and during the event. Despite the grueling conditions, these workers were unpaid or grossly underpaid, e.g., work-study students making $2 per hour after deductions. The summer internship program was a lie, serving no educational purpose other than to supply free labor from idealistic, naive young people. Volunteers were misled, manipulated into believing their service was unto the Lord, when it was really unto Rod Parsley's empire. Mandatory participation was disguised as optional, but absence was met with coercion or reprimand. All of this labor was set against a backdrop of militant supervision. Staff were surveilled. Baseboards were inspected with white gloves. Attire was reviewed and rejected if it didn't conform to absurd aesthetic standards. This was not ministry. It was plantation-era labor cloaked in revivalist rhetoric. Fourth, the hypocrisy of lavish VIP treatment. While the faithful grinded through unpaid labor, celebrity pastors and musicians were lavished with 5,000 plus honorariums, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Tom Ford, gifts, all expenses paid travel, 5-star accommodations, and curated meals, personal gift baskets, including Apple Watches and Justin Timberlake concert tickets. A chef was once paid $13,500, only to be discarded when the Parsleys didn't like his food. That money could have fed volunteers. Instead, Longhorn Steakhouse was called in to satisfy Parsley palates while staff subsisted on oyster crackers and mandarin oranges, if they ate it all. This grotesque contrast exposes not just hypocrisy, but moral depravity. The Parsleys are not shepherds. They are corporate overlords, profiting off the emotional manipulation of worshipers and the unpaid sweat of believers. Fifth, aesthetic control and psychological warfare. Perhaps most disturbing is the control over physical appearance and personal dignity. Robin and other sources reveal Staff and singers were required to submit outfits for approval, have professional makeup done, and even be spray tanned if they were too pale. Workers were chastised for not wearing the right merch or for not mirroring Ashton Parsley's appearance. No one was allowed to outshine the queen. Volunteers were scolded for wearing heels or not looking cheerful enough, even after 15-plus-hour shifts. The effect is deeply dehumanizing. This is not just labor exploitation. It is systematic psychological and emotional abuse, robbing people of agency, autonomy, and identity. Sixth, the offerings, scam and financial grift. Robin drops a nuclear bomb when she describes the spreadsheet of speaker performance, measuring how much money each one could wring from the crowd. This offering leaderboard determined future bookings. It's not about God. It's about metrics, revenue, and guilt manipulation. Every service is another opportunity to extract cash, and if one night underperforms, the next night's offering call is extended. Staff working in accounting stayed late to count cash and report take-in, so executives could strategize who could fleece the flock best the next day. The spiritual facade of DCM is stripped away. What's left is a capitalist cult with a Jesus decal slapped on top. Seventh, emotional, spiritual, and physical toll. The most gut-wrenching segment features stories of Valor College students, young, hopeful, indoctrinated, laying hands on themselves, praying to stay awake after collapsing from exhaustion. These students were overworked to collapse, deprived of food, fed spiritual lies to justify abuse, gaslit, and surveilled by peers for dissent. And when they tried to speak out, they were threatened with rebuke, ostracism, or spiritual condemnation. This is not faith, it is cultic programming. Eighth, final words, Robin's courage and clarity. Robin's final message is direct. You are not serving God at World Harvest Church. You are serving the Parsley Empire. She challenges listeners to examine the fruit, the true spiritual and moral output of this institution. She calls on attendees, volunteers, interns, staff, and even former celebrity guests to wake up. If they continue participating, they are complicit. Conclusion. A monumental podcast episode. This episode of Mega Maniacs is not just a powerful listen. It is an act of spiritual protest. Robin Torgrimson's delivery is impassioned, credible, and righteous. Her exposure of Dominion Camp meetings rot is thorough, well-sourced, and utterly damning. This episode should be studied, archived, and shared as a critical document of spiritual abuse and labor exploitation in the modern American church. Robin doesn't just peel back the curtain, she rips it down, sets it on fire, and hands you the ashes. She should be supported. She should be believed. She should be amplified. The truth she is telling is not only real, it is urgent.